People deluded, I'm back again. Fridays equals Q&A day, and thank you very much for the questions. As you know, yeah, man, I try very hard to make sure I get everybody's question. As you know, you just have to get at me via the comment section, any of my socials, from Facebook all the way to Twitter, really, and just make sure it's here by the following Wednesday, essentially 9 p.m. the following Wednesday, English time. GMT time, whatever they call it. But yeah, let's crack on. Hopefully everybody's had a great holidays too. But Bellows asked, Usman Bello, better yet, another consistent person throughout the whole year in regards to asking questions. Shout out to you, my guy. He's asked, which players from the top of your head were you sad about that had the potential to be world class but never made it? Well, in regards to the word world class, I'm not too sure, but I can list off players that I would have liked to have seen how they would have progressed if certain things didn't happen, like injuries and things. First and foremost would be Jack Wilshere. Still, at the end of the day, he hasn't had the career many people thought. Probably would have thought. You look at England, he's probably 100 caps or so for England, captain of Arsenal, helping Arsenal to try and win major trophies, or at the very least, he would expect him, if you was to have asked him, the 17-year-old Jack Wilshere, or looked at the 17-year-old Jack Wilshere, would have thought he would have still been at the Arsenal side now in this lineup. Things have happened. He's been injured. He's still had a top career. At the end of the day, he's played Premier League football. He's played for his country, and he's gone to international tournaments and won trophies. But it's not quite the career that he could have had if it wasn't for certain things. I'd say Ravel Morrison as well. Without a doubt, I felt he had the potential to do just about anything. Probably to a degree, I'd say Nasri. Probably Ben Arfa. I'd say who else is there? Mendes, Jeremy Mendes, France international, former France player. Um, Maybe Pato, Ganso, Gabriel, but he's still playing football at this moment in time. Yeah, they'd probably be the ones off the top of my head, my guy, to be fair with you. Um, yeah, probably that, to be fair with you. Oh, and I need to get my charger. Where's the charger wire? I can't even get it, people. If it dies, I guess I'll just have to reshoot this, but let's take them chances, man. Alex has asked me, in fact, let me get that, man. One sec, people. It's really bugging me. Oh, live in the air, man. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Here we go. Apologies, people, apologies, but yeah, man, I'm a real guy. So you get to see all that stuff. But Alex has asked me, if the season ended today, who would be your player of the year? My pick would be Van Dijk. Well, Van Dijk would be a solid choice. You could say Van Dijk. Probably Raheem Sterling for me. You guys know I love Raheem Sterling, so I'd probably be Raheem Sterling, my guy. As Kaz asked, Deluded, what's your opinion on rough and physical tactics approach from lower teams against Arsenal, and why does the EPL referees allow these against Arsenal for far too long? Yeah, I think that's what you said. Yeah. In regards to why the referees or whatever have an agenda against Arsenal, I don't know. I don't know if they actually have an agenda, but I do think a couple of decisions don't go our way and other teams get lenient. Someone from the FA would have to speak about that one, my guy, so I'm not too sure. In regards to physical tactics, I don't advocate overzealous tactics, but it would make sense. If you're a team and you're going against Arsenal, or if you're going against Manchester City, for instance, and there's probably no way of beating them, even though they've lost it already, and you know you can't, you're not faster than them, you're not technically better than them. The least you're gonna do is try and be tactically on point, and the least you're gonna do is, I don't advocate kicking, but if you tackle someone, definitely give a rough tackle so they feel it, so they're probably discouraged from trying to take you on again. That is going to happen. Obviously, people are going to be very hands-on and physical and try and discourage you to play, and that's down to players to be brave and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Antonio asks, DG, how can I improve my tactical understanding? I think I've answered this question already, forgive me, it says a week ago, but just by just reading books essentially, and just by going on any coaching qualification courses if you want, and just by listening probably on YouTube to coaches speak. But yeah, my guy. Tarek asks, yo DG, for your Q&A, was Kolo Toure slept on during his prime years at Arsenal, and how much would he be in today's market? Well, today's market, I'm not too sure, but he can collect a pretty penny, man, based on how some of these transfer fees are going. If I'm seeing Maguire can go for 50 million, no disrespect to Maguire because I rate him, yeah, make of that what you will for Kolo Toure. You could say he was slept on. A very consistent member in his prime of the Arsenal squad in his prime. Good tackler, very aggressive, honest individual. Yeah, man, he'd walk into Arsenal, would take Arsenal. I know Arsenal, I'd love Sol Campbell and Tony Adams, the future of them to walk through the door, but Kolo Toure, like you said, my guy, man. It's yeah, like you said, like you could say he was quite slept on in that regards. To be honest with you, yeah, he probably was. He probably was, and he had a decent career when you look back at it as well. Sorry, people, I'm just copy and pasting this so I can see better. But yeah, we're back. So yeah, man, that's definitely a great question, man, and I definitely share your sentiment. Techie Terrera has asked me, what's the worst player you've seen at Arsenal now? It's nothing to do with ability, but whenever I get asked this question, it's William Gallas. I wouldn't say I hate him because I don't know him as a man, but when I just look back at your Arsenal time or the time he put on a shirt, yeah, you scored the winner against Chelsea, but I just feel the way he acted more times than not was quite disgraceful. And I've got a lot of, yeah, I don't really like him, to be fair with you, and how he behaved at Arsenal. Jenkinson, I think Jenkinson's terrible, no disrespect, because he's having a good career, but I feel he's very terrible, and I don't know if he knew anybody that helped him make it as a professional footballer, but when I hear the statement, it's who you know, not what you know, and I see some footballers that haven't made it, and I see Jenkinson's actually being paid thousands of pounds to play professional football. Yeah, it just shows you life's not fair. Credit to him at the end of the day, but yeah, probably them two, my guy. There's obviously, you've got Scalacci and you've got Pascal Sigan and you've got yes and no and things like that, but yeah. And you've also got the player who surprised you the most this season, Felipe Anderson, to be fair, because I rated him. He took a while to get going. I was a bit, is he going to get going? Is he going to get going? And he's got going now, and now it's down to him to keep doing it until May, but probably him. I wouldn't say, you guys know I'm a big Raheem Sterling fan, but just the application and the aggression in which Raheem Sterling was scoring goals. Obviously, he's a bit of a blip now, but was just scoring goals, probably be him. Really should have thought about this question. There's a couple, to be fair with you. Obviously, I wouldn't say Maddison surprised me, but you could say him and Brooks, in the way that they've taken to playing Premier League football from the Championship. You could throw them into that, my guy. Thanks for that question. Though, Igal's asked, would you target Lascelles of Newcastle? I would definitely look at him, but in today's market, regardless of if sides are on the cusp of relegation or winning the league, when they're of a certain nationality, there's a premium to them. Now, Arsenal allegedly are under financial constraints, so I don't know if we can afford that, regardless of his ability. And you said, do we not have any academy defenders who could step up? Well, you've got a whole host of academy defenders that have stepped up, and you can go and just look at all of my vids, but maybe Unai Emery doesn't deem them good enough, between not good enough, between not being ready, between just not trusting them. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see how that one develops. Main man Ubers asked, another consistent guy, do you think we'll go for Hamza Mehdi, I can't say his name, the Moroccan lad of Schalke, I believe, in January or the summer? Oh, apparently we tried to sign him, and obviously work permit issues messed that one up, so maybe that ship sailed because he's gone Schalke now, but you never know. I'm inclined to believe that target's gone and we move on elsewhere. But yeah, you've also said, which cheap winger could we get? It depends what you class as cheap, and to a degree, you get in today's market, you don't get what you pay for, but you get what you pay for, in the sense that if you want premium players, you kind of have to be prepared to pay premium prices. For every Torreira that we got for 20 or so million, there's been several midfield targets, Kante, even completely different position, but Cess returning, many other examples of players we've missed out on because of us trying to go around different things. So yeah, just based on reports, Sarr is being spoken of as 16 million. Surely Arsenal have that to spare. There's rumours Lozano's available from PSV for 35 million. That might be dear for Arsenal, but in today's market, when you consider some players are being quoted 70 million, surely that's okay. I'm not too sure, my guy, but yeah, that would be 2 picks off the top of my head. Finally, Antonio's asked again, DG, do you think Lacazette should be more involved in the playmaking role? I think he showed many times that he can play the right pass in the final third. He creates many opportunities to score goals with his dribbles and movement. Maybe if Unai Emery finds a system for Lacazette where he can play behind Aubameyang, maybe a 4-1, 4-4-1-1. I like your thinking, and I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't say playmaker, but maybe not of necessarily a false nine, but probably look to allow Aubameyang and Lacazette to utilise each other, pressing together as a striker, but also allowing Lacazette to drop and become the creative hub, like you said. He does that anyways. If for that to fully work, the other midfielders would have to press in his absence, and again the fullbacks we need to see more. But I like your thinking, and it's definitely a good way of thinking, to be fair. It's actually something Lacazette might have to consider just away from Arsenal as he gets to the twilight eras of his career, and he might lose a yard of pace or so and things like that. He might either turn into a sharpshooter, a Defoe sort, or he could turn into a 10. I've been saying one very underrated aspect of Lacazette's play is his technical level. I knew he was a technically messed guy, but it's only when I see him lace up his boots for the Arsenal at the Emirates I realise how good technically he is. So yeah, long may it continue, Lacazette. But on that note, I think I've got everybody's questions. Thank you every time, people, for the questions. I can't thank you enough. Honestly, I say this all the time. It might sound cliche, but without you lot, I can't do it. I can't sit down and say Antonio said this, Bello said this, Alex said this, and you lot know it's lies. That's fraud. Like, anyways, people, guys, deluded. Comment, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish. I'm out.